Hi, everybody. My name is Jim Machi. I run global marketing at Sangoma. I'm really happy and pleased that Alan asked us to speak at TADSummit Online Asia. Even before all this work from home stuff happened, Alan talked to us about it. We were fully on board. So we're pleased to be here. By the way, I hope everybody's safe. I also hope you get something really good out of this conference today and over the next few days here. There's going to be a lot of interesting information. And we have a few other talks too that we'll be doing. So welcome, and I'm glad you're watching, and I hope you, like I said, you get something really good out of it. I'm recording this today from my home in Texas, and I've been to APAC many times. I worked at Dialogic for 20 years, and Sangoma bought part of Dialogic in 2018, and that's when I came over to Sangoma. So some of you on this call, maybe I even have met you at various conferences since I went to APAC often. And I hope to be there soon, like I said. So today in my talk, I'm going to go through Sangoma a little bit. I'll talk about what we're seeing in the enterprise market. And then I'll go through what we call our product stack. And then I'll introduce the other sessions that we're going to be doing today. So who is Sangoma? Today, Sangoma is a company that provides simple to use, comprehensive, and cost-effective unified communication solutions. Some of you may be surprised at the way I talked about Sangoma there. You may know us as somebody who provides open source solutions or boards or gateways or something like that. And we're all of that. But in the end of the day, we're really a unified communication solution. That's really what we do at Sangoma. So let me now talk about what we see going on in the market. Obviously, in the market, we see a bunch of trends when talking to our customers, our partners, and I do a lot of interaction with analysts. So I think some of these trends, like work from home and mobility, cloud, and unified communications and what that means, and just providing value is important. And I'll go through some of that right now. So we're talking about trends for a little bit. I promised Alan I would only use one slide, and this is the slide. So if you see about some of the trends in the market, obviously the world is moving to cloud. That's where all the growth is. But as you see on the slide, there's still a big percentage of on-prem systems being sold. So even though the hype is all about cloud, and obviously cloud's important, on-prem is still important, and we think it's still important too. So unified communications is also important, and it's growing. So what is unified communications? Because some people describe unified communications and it comes out to be a little different. But really, it's all kinds of different types of communications that are all in one system. So things like voice, texting, email, video, chat, etc., all in one system. Otherwise, it's not really unified communications. Got to be able to collaborate and share documents. That's really important as well. And access to business phone systems from any device. So mobility is a big part of unified communications. And we sponsored two research reports, one from Eastern Management Group and one from Frost & Sullivan, around this efficiency concept of being able to, is unified communications more efficient? And our research shows that unified communication system increased workforce productivity by 52% and 45%. And now that some of you maybe are using it now, you might be able to understand that. So remote working and working from home is also a really important part of trends that we're seeing. Obviously, before the pandemic, we saw research that showed 42% of workers want to be mobile or will be mobile by 2022. Probably today that kind of research will show even more. So the trend would have increased because everyone would have moved to UC as fast as possible. So unified communications, as I said, is at the heart of what we do at Sangoma. We were prepared for all this, and our customers were mostly prepared. However, we also saw some people, some of our customers just used our phone system as PBX, and they were asking us, how do we enable remote working and remote from home with our systems? And obviously, we were able to help them with that regard because we're able to. So we put a work from home web page up, we put a wiki up about how to use the features in our system. And we're starting to see more and more missing sense of community as people sort of self-isolate now, and missing the camaraderie and things like that. And so video becomes more and more important, and you're starting to see trends about that in the market. You read a lot of articles about that kind of thing. And then finally, another trend we're seeing is doing all of this stuff I just talked about, but doing it economically, especially now. So value is really important. And many are using open source based systems to do that. Already, 78% of businesses operate some sort of open system in their enterprise. So they're increasingly using open source, and because they see it as value based, and we're in a good spot for that. Obviously, our systems do that, and we support open source. Okay, so let me go through our product stack. What Alan has referred to as our product stack. You'll see something that looks like a curved arrow, and then things will build, and I'll speak for a few minutes over each build, and so that you can see what our product stack is. First and foremost, everything starts with us, with our open source platforms. We are stewards of the two largest open source communication platforms in the world, Asterisk and FreePBX. And it's really important to us that we take seriously what's going on there, and we support those projects really well. And we support them in various ways. For one thing, we provide a lot of engineering. In fact, millions of dollars of engineering goes into support of our open source platforms there. We also support it in marketing ways, like we run events like Astricon or FreePBX World. We want the ecosystem to get together, and that's why we do those events. The innovation is really important with the open source platforms. If a lot of us in the open source industry are smaller companies, and the more innovation we can all do together, the better it is for all of us. So to compete against some of those larger companies. So we want to do innovation, and we want to enable the users of Asterisk and FreePBX to do innovation. And that's really why we want that to happen. It's really good for the whole industry. And if it's good for the whole open source community, then it's good for everybody, and we all do better together. And that's really why open source is important to us and is the base of everything we do. All right. So I just talked about open source a little bit. Let's go through a little more detail what Asterisk is. Asterisk is an open source framework designed to build communication applications. It's really what it is. It powers IP PBX systems, and that's probably the most common one that you know, but also gateways and other types of communication systems like ISVs are built on Asterisk. It's free to use. We get about 2 million downloads annually of it, and it's deployed in over 170 countries that we know of. We have introduced this to the TADHacks community this year, and we hope Alan's audience will start to utilize this more and more. And we're going to be having a separate talk about Asterisk at this conference. FreePBX is built on Asterisk. It's the world's largest open source PBX base. It's an all-in-one, fully furnished PBX. And there's some optional charge-on modules with it. FreePBX is pretty popular in APAC. We have a lot of deployments, too many to mention here. And what I'll be talking about in a few minutes, the phones, the desktop collaboration software we call Zulu, SIP trunking, the gateways and SBCs, all work with these open source products. And so that's important to us. And that's one of the reasons that we continue to support the open source product. It's the innovation, but also we build a little business around it. So again, it makes the whole ecosystem stronger. Alan talked about the tides rising all boats, sort of the concept of his message at the keynote he did at Astricon last year. We also provide communication elements into a bigger solution set from another company. These would be things like boards, gateways, SBCs. The solution could be anywhere from a mobile value-added service. In APAC, you're very familiar with that, to a contact center or an IVR, anything like that, where somebody would be building the final solution, selling it either to a service provider directly or to an enterprise directly. And so we support them by providing some kind of element there. Now I'll go through what are those different elements briefly so that you can see a bigger picture of that. Okay, so let's get into our solution stack components in a little more detail here. We'll just do a quick overview here. First of all, or SBCs. They provide up to 4,000 sessions and provide security, IP interoperability, and transcoding, as you may expect. We do have deployments in APAC. And in fact, there's one with a large carrier in the Middle East. We also provide analog and digital enterprise gateways. This would be gateways that enable, if you have a SIP trunk coming in and maybe you continue to have an existing older PBX, so that would be from IP to digital or analog, or you may still have analog or digital coming into your building, but you also have an IP PBX, maybe like one of ours. So you need a gateway to go from PSTN to IP. So that's either way, we have gateways for the enterprise for that. We also have high density IMG gateways, some of these gateways that we came from Dialogic. These are for large call centers, obviously in India. We have some deployed, or service providers that do interoperability between different types of networks. We have some large deployments in APAC for those wholesale carriers that do that. These gateways also support SIGTRAN and SS7. And like I said, there's a bunch deployed in APAC in various countries, ranging from Australia to India to China to Singapore to Hong Kong. We also have different kinds of cards that go into computer telephony integration type of servers. And those are Sangoma or Digium or Dialogic cards that do high performance fax and media processing. So at a quick overview, those are the kind of components that we offer. And some of you may know our name and our name of our company to be more associated with this, but like I said, we're really a unified communication company. Okay, I was talking about applications before. We also enable application development that will occur. A CPaaS platform enables remote access to APIs. Our CPaaS platform as a service, is called Apidaze. So you can enable texting, voice, video, messaging kind of apps by calling a remote API on top of your platform or with your platform, or you build your whole solution about it. And then you can easily deploy some kind of innovative applications. And really, Alan does these TAD hacks, and that's really what it is. It's about being able to quickly create and then deploy some kind of application. And so we promote and work with Alan on those TAD hacks with Apidaze and with Asterisk. Again, later on, we have a whole talk about Apidaze, and I would encourage you to go to that talk. I'll speak about it now very briefly. One of the great things about CPaaS or programmable telcos is that while development skills are important, it represents an easy to understand API. Things like REST, WebRTC, etc. is pretty easy. So you can control voice and messaging function using REST and XML and JSON formats without having any knowledge of complex telecom. That's really what's held a lot of people back. Telecom is quote unquote hard. But if you can understand how to program these things, you can create a telecom application. And that's really what the beauty of CPaaS is, as well as remote accessing these remote APIs. There are some skills that would be helpful in leveraging these tools, such as web development methodologies like HTML5, JavaScript, XML, REST, and JSON, as I said before. Our focus is making sure Apidaze works well on top of our open source products. So what kind of applications can you create? You can create or add to something that already exists, so maybe adding to some voice features. You really just need a web server to get started. You can operate our service with local numbers available for more than 8,000 cities in 80 countries. Things like IVRs, voicemail, SMS or MMS, in-app messaging such as Facebook or WeChat, voice recording, and text-to-speech. You can do pretty much anything. And like I said, we have a separate session about Apidaze, and I would encourage you to go to that. I'm back. Part of a unified communication or PBX solution involves, obviously, phones and headsets. And we provide a full range of phones and headsets from different price points and also different functionalities. So if you want, whatever you want, and we likely have it. Our phones also auto provision with our system. So when I first came here, they gave me a phone. I plugged it in, and within like a minute, I was up and running with our system from my office at home, where I am right now. So that worked out really good. And so all of our phones do that. We also have headsets that either work with our phones or plug in to the USB port on your laptop, and you can range 325 feet. These are doing very well right now, as you may imagine, in the work from home times. You can go in your kitchen and make lunch and fake that you're paying attention to the conference call, as an example. So I'll speak about some of this right now also in a little more detail. In addition to our phones, we also have headsets. And let me go through some of the features of the headset, since they're pretty important. They're automatically configured with our Sangoma D series and S series of phones. They have wideband audio, so they sound really good. Volume and mute controls, multifunction button for call handling. There's some LED for audio indications, noise canceling microphone, a battery indicator, volume adjustment, things like that. So you can really use these very well throughout your whole day. Battery lasts the whole day. Another thing with phones and headsets, I didn't really mention, I kind of mentioned them, but we have a soft phone client we call either Switchvox one or the Zulu one for PB Exact. And these enable phone calls, obviously, but also chat and presence functions are there. You can fax, you can see contacts and call your contacts and do file sharing. So really key part of our unified communication strategy as well are those soft phone collaboration clients. If you have an IP PBX or some IP system in your building, you need to talk to the outside world. And so you need a SIP trunk to go to the outside world. There are two types of SIP trunking. One's called wholesale SIP trunking. Another one's called retail SIP trunking. We have both of those. Wholesale SIP trunking is more, you make a minimum commitment and you pay by usage, but there's a minimum commitment. So that's for companies or service providers that are doing a large number of minutes. And there's retail SIP trunking where you pay by the line. That's typically for a business. And again, we have both of them, and both of them work with our unified communication systems. But they don't need to be working with our unified communication systems. We know there's other ones out there, and obviously we support any of the other kind of UC or IP PBX systems out there. Our wholesale SIP trunking product, we call SIP Depot, has service in 60 countries, DID and outbound, with additional carrier service such as fraud protection, hosted billing, and location monitoring. Our retail SIP trunking product we call SIP Station. This is only available in North America and the UK right now. And again, these are number of lines-based monthly pricing hosted by Sangoma. Direct integration with free PBX, PB Exact, and Switchvox. As I said in the beginning of my talk, unified communications is the heart of what we do at Sangoma. And so let's go back a couple months. All of a sudden, companies around the world had these swift and sudden work from home orders. Could have been even on Friday, you were told, you can't go into work, you got to start working from home if you can. And so there was this dramatic shift for companies. Any company that was on a UC system, such as us, was able to make that shift pretty easily. For instance, unified communications enables, you have a soft phone collaboration client that goes on your laptop or on your mobile phone. Rings the same office phone number on your laptop or your mobile phone. So that's like important right there. You can still keep your business running because you have the same phone numbers. We have conference calling as part of our systems. Instant messaging, part of those cell phone clients, for instance. So there's a lot to enable work from home. You could even bring your phone home into your office at home and do that. So there's a lot of things that our customers were able to do, or any unified communication customers were able to do. So going forward, I think one thing about this work from home that happened is they'll probably be enabled more, doing this more regularly. And also companies are going to want to prepare for going forward to make sure that they have unified communication. So it's a really essential part of being able to work from home. It's like the core element of that, being able to work from home. So let's talk about our UC systems in a little bit more detail. As I said, we have two. called PBExact and SwitchVox. SwitchVox is the more complete channel product. So if you want a more complete product out of the box, SwitchVox is for you. PBExact is more if you want to tinker, if you designed and like to do that and really get under the covers a little bit more, PBExact is for you. Like I said, though, they're both fully featured IP, PBX, and UC platforms designed for small and medium businesses. We just see different use cases for them, different types of customers that use them. They both have call center features and call history, and anything that you might want to expect in a PBX. You're going to see it. Integration with CRM as an example as well. They both have desktop and mobile apps as well, as I talked about before. Another thing that's really important is both you can offer. We offer a VM version of these, so we have quite a number of service providers that take a VM version of the product and put it in their own data center, and that's really good because they know it works well for enterprise customers. So as they're serving their businesses, maybe the business they used to sell key systems to the business, but now the business wants a cloud-based service that's offered by the service provider. We can provide that. But some business may still want to buy on-prem from the service provider. And both of our systems, the same software is used on-prem and in the cloud version, our cloud version or the VM version. So it's easy for the customer to migrate one way back or forth or to make the sale because they're not pushing one thing or another. So that's another great thing about our UC products. Now, another part that's really important about all this work from home is meetings, having video conference calls. So we have something, meetings as a service, which is a video collaboration and conference tool. So you can actually get on a conference, see everybody, share documents, etc. We call that Sangoma Me. Go to meet.sangoma.com and get started. This is free right now, and it's going to be free during all these times that we're still in. So there's no end date about when it's going to be free or anything like that. We're just doing it for our customers and actually anyone who wants to do it, use it. It doesn't have to be our customers. I'm doing this with my family. I have 2 children in New York, and so we do this once a week, and we see the whole family together. But it's really good. Video is important in these days. It's one part of our UC collaboration that we didn't have until we announced this a few weeks ago. So it works in conjunction with our products, or it can be a standalone service. So it's really good. We use it every day. I'm probably on it 4 times a day, seeing people in our company. And we've even done conference calls or video calls with our customers. So it's working out really good. I would encourage you to use it. We want you guys to use it. And like I said, right now, because there's no human interaction at the coffee place in your office or something like that, it's really helped a lot. So I would encourage you to use it. All right. So let's talk a little bit more about Sangoma Me, which is our meetings as a service product. Some other features: it fully encrypts password. So you have password protected video conferences. HD video is the default file format as well. We will soon have calendar integration and dial-in capability. In fact, by the time Alan airs this video, we might have that done already. All right, and they'll be calling in from a PSTN and offering a PIN as well. Like I said, go to meet.sangoma.com, meet.sangoma.com to get started, and you can just get started right there. We'd like you to fill out a feedback form during this time that it's free so we can keep improving the product. And like I said, use it with your company, your teams, your family, whatever. We're just trying to help here with keeping that going. So the last thing to talk about is the carrier services in the showroom. We wrap our services together with a portal, cloud-based portal called Titanium, which is for the service provider products like wholesale SIP trunking. So you can go there for sourcing and porting, orchestrating and managing your phone numbers and things like that. This aggregates 50 underlying carriers into one transparent omni-channel platform and network. And we also have a showroom for some of the applications built on Apidaze that you can go get. So that's the end of so you can see our whole communication stack there, our whole platform stack as well. All right, everybody, that's it. This is the last time you're going to see me on the video. I hope you enjoyed the little curved arrow. That's our product stack. We offer a wide range of products, as you can see. The heart of everything we do is unified communications. So I want you to remember that and walk away from that. And the baseline of everything we do is open source, and so providing the open source platforms and supporting the innovation that goes with the open source platforms. So again, thank you, Alan, for setting this conference up. We're very happy to be part of this with you. And I want to remember there's a few other talks that Sangoma is doing that's important. Go to the Apidaze talk. You want to learn how to do CPaaS development with Apidaze. There's a how to get started with Asterisk talk and also a free PBX talk. So I would encourage you to go to all of them. Again, be safe. I'll be happy to see you in APAC when I'm allowed to get going out there, and I'll be happy about that. And Alan, I'll see you around somewhere, I'm sure. So thank you, everybody. And again, like I said, be safe.